My brethren, fall in line. Line up, because we might just be fully back, because we finally have some real hope for Mega Man Star Force 4 to exist. And don't worry, I'm not out of the hype zone yet. There's a lot I want to yap on about this, so get ready to type up in the comments too about your hype. I'm trying to hear about what you'll have to say. Don't expect a clear plan of attack. Follow me. As a longtime fan, I played through the Star Force games many times, from the stories to the online battles and everything else. And even then, seeing the internet grow in popularity and usage, I could tell both Battle Network and Star Force were more niche in comparison to the other Mega Man series, but they had a strong, smaller following, despite sadly the sales not being nearly enough for Capcom to feel like they should continue it on. But I still appreciate both series essentially having a final game, quote unquote, to make it feel like closure for the games is there, and it wasn't just aimless desire for more from an unfinished franchise for years. Because though I wanted both series, but especially Star Force, to get a remake, I mainly wanted it less for improvements to the games, but to put a fresh current spotlight on the games so more people can give the games a try. Anyways, not gonna go too much more into that here. I already did in my last Star Force video about why everybody should play this series, so go watch that video after this one if you haven't seen it. It's kind of good. Point being, I knew that the Star Force Legacy Collection was the solution since they announced the very first Legacy Collection of classic Mega Man, and this game came out so well, man. Great 3D models thanks to the RE engine, menu dialogue and conversations, beautiful visuals, a swarm of marketing from Capcom through a manga to Street Fighter 6 collabs to promo art in the final week to count down the days. A Nintendo Direct spot, though only in the Japanese version and not the West version, but I digress. The collection came out great within the games too, from the free cipher codes to casual and ranked online play for each version to not allowing you to input a custom name for Geo, which I personally appreciate even if some might not. Quality of life changes, like a whole new set of arranged music with each game, but also being able to turn money gain upwards up to 500%, and the biggest thing, being able to adjust the counter rate. My God, that's so nice. Not having to run into viruses every 2 seconds if I want to do a puzzle, or I accidentally walk on the wrong path on the wave road, or if I've gotten all the battle cards I need for this wave road section, I'm like, okay, no more viruses, boom. Or if I want to just continue to beeline the story, I'm good. Or in the opposite direction, if I want to grind heavy for a specific battle card, or if I'm trying to search for the SP version of the bosses, it works good in both directions. Point is, the amount of love put into this collection and the lead up to the release made me actually be very surprised and like, wow, they really care about Star Force, don't they? It made me think, did they go all in to bring back Star Force 4? Hey, because I need that game even more badly thanks to this collection. 3 had a conclusive ending, but it could always continue to making a new narrative and an even stronger close to the series. And for years, for those that don't know, we have known that Star Force 4 was planned and being worked on, but was canceled unfortunately due to, like I said, the Battle Network to Star Force pipeline not selling as much as they desired. I mean, even with the Star Force anime, the second half of the first game's adaptation of the anime didn't get an English dub. The anime for 2, aka Star Force Tribe, was rushed and didn't have an English dub at all, though it was still decent. Surprisingly, there are a lot of things that I liked about it, enjoyed about it, though it was very rushed and it wasn't up to the level of the game of 2, even though I don't think 2 is as strong as 1 or 3, but I don't think it's as bad as people try to make it out to be, that's for sure. 3 didn't get an anime adaptation at all, so to say the least, Capcom tried, but they felt like it was time to move on, which of course still hurt, though I do get it from their perspective. That's why now is the time that my fire has been lit and I need Star Force 4 expeditiously. With how they've treated the collection and its release, it feels more possible than ever, man, especially the extra details post-release. Not only has the game sold well universally, it is constantly sold out of physical copies in Japan due to high demand. I mean, a bit over 18K in the first week on Switch alone in just Japan, second to only Pokemon in sales that week. But the biggest asset, for those that may not know, comes from the interview with Koji Oda and Shingo Izuma, sadly led by Crunchyroll, but still was an engaging article regardless. The article's lead is mainly on the experience of porting the game over to modern consoles from DS. You know, the touchscreen to button changes, the entire online system having to be remade from scratch, all to make a good experience for new people that never got to play the originals. Then the section that caught the eyes and ears of most, as I know many of you also did from the comments on my video covering the post Star Force 3 manga one-shot that was made. Check out my video covers of that if you haven't already, and subscribe if you want more Mega Man Star Force content, because after this video, the Star Force content you'll be getting will be mainly character analysis and story thematic stuff, you know. Y'all know what I be doing over here, but I digress. But the question was, what inspired you to make a collection for the Star Force series of games? What can fans of Star Force expect in this collection, and what would you like newcomers to gain from this version of the Mega Man franchise? To which the responses were from Shingo Izumi: the original Nintendo DS versions achieved a high level of player satisfaction, and the series continued to be supported by many passionate fans even today. Because of that, one of our motivations was to bring this experience to players who were unable to enjoy it when it was first released 20 years ago. Shout out to y'all. Another major factor was the overwhelming positive response to Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection, released in 2023, along with the many requests we received from players saying they would love to play the Mega Man Star Force series as well. For existing Star Force fans, we believe this collection makes it much easier to experience content that was difficult to fully enjoy at the time. It also includes elements that were originally exclusive to the Japanese versions, such as cards, so we hope fans will take note of those as well. For players experiencing the series for the first time, we have implemented a variety of quality of life features so that the games can be played comfortably without feeling inconvenient, even when compared to modern RPGs. We encourage players to enjoy the game using the settings that best suit their preferences. And when asked about Star Force 4 being potentially revisited, the response was, at the moment we are fully focused on delivering this title to as many players as possible, so it's difficult to think too far ahead. That said, we sincerely hope that Mega Man Star Wars Legacy Collection will be played by so many people that it inspires us to consider developing a Star Force 4 in the future. So the devs clearly desire to make Star Force 4 in the future, but they wanted to make as great of an experience possible for the series for the current games through this Legacy Collection for veteran and new players. And though Star Force is still niche even in comparison to Battle Network, this is a new opening. And thanks to that collection success, this one was able to be done. And once again, we must come together to give Capcom and the Mega Man dev team belief that it is worth it to invest in developing Star Force 4. I mean, they've already made the first post Star Force 3 content with the first new Star Force content in almost 20 years, the manga one-shot, because it didn't at all have to do, by the way, and it wasn't something sloppy. It was generally a good step forward for post Star Force 3. The desire to make 4, I feel, is truly real, and we have dev hope to give us hope that we can achieve it. And when we found this out, everybody began to rally even harder for pushing the agenda of supporting this game, especially by word of mouth, which is huge. So that brings me to some more questions. Do I think Star Force 4 is possible? I truly do. Though, do I think the Star Force Legacy Collection needs even more success? Yes, I do, but I also believe that will continue to be shown over time as more and more people try and complete the games for the very first time, as well as veterans replaying it. Do I think Star Force 4 is needed? I mean, I guess not really. They ended 3 in a way that was conclusive to an overarching story component and can surely be a conclusive end to the series for sure. For many years it was, despite a potential what-if cliffhanger, but not anymore. So really, it doesn't need it because it doesn't feel open-ended or left off, leaving us hanging. Should Capcom make it though? Yes, not just because I want it, but because of one of my biggest beefs with Capcom's in recent years, despite them doing many good things and things I liked among some bad. Capcom honestly has done Mega Man pretty dirty in recent years. They do the Legacy Collection, which is all fine and good. The last actual new Mega Man game was Mega Man 11, which came out in 2018, which is a classic Mega Man title, a really good one at that. I actually love Mega Man 11, one of my favorites of the classic series. The problem is the next new one doesn't come out till 2027, which is a 9-year wait for a game in any of the Mega Man series. It's a new one, I mean. And none of these games would ever need that long to make. And it's also another classic Mega Man game. Don't get me wrong, I like classic Mega Man, but it could have been Legend 3, Star Force 4, or even more interesting, finally another brand new Mega Man version or iteration. It feels like despite Mega Man still to this day being Capcom's 4th best-selling franchise, they've done it so dirty, man. Granted, they did admit now they want the schedule for the franchise to be a Legacy Collection and a new title back and forth, but man, so much time was wasted. It's not like the games have gotten worse like some OG franchises have suffered from, which I'm thank God Mega Man hasn't taken that route, but just tossing it to the wayside with the money that Capcom has, thus the resources. Come on, man, so much lost time. But you know what? They can make up for it, because there's no way they can put out all these Resident Evil games, new and remakes, a new IP like Pragmata, all these Monster Hunter Wilds updates and fixes, Onimusha and more, but not consistently drop good Mega Man games. No way they had that little faith. As long as they capitalize now, I can forgive them. Not that I'm the arbiter of anything in regards to them, but hey, let me put out my opinion, okay? Also, I have a really good idea for a new Mega Man iteration that takes place, let me give you guys a little bit of a taste, that takes place in the Battle Network to Star Force timeline after the Star Force series. So if you guys want me to do a video about all that, it's a juicy premise. Let me know. Subscribe and comment on the video below to show me you want that. As far as how to continue the Star Force series, I don't think it needs to go on forever or anything. I'm perfectly down for them to match Battle Network's game amount and they were to stop at 6, or if they don't want to overdo it, they can stop at 4, giving it a great narrative and immersive, strong experience with an even better closure of an ending. I can live with that too. I'm not that greedy. If you didn't know, the main plot of Star Force 4 was meant to be based around the team up of Geostellar and one of Landikar's descendants, a story about something happening and they both end up on the run from the side of the police. Lan's descendant was supposed to have a skill in hacking, which hacking was meant to be the game's core component to revolve the world building and the gameplay systems around this time, similar to what Noise was for Star Force 3. The game was meant to be with them being a little bit older, but honestly, if they wanted a bit longer of a time jump, I'm fine with that too. These characters are still designed in a way I still can't believe they were supposed to be in 5th grade. It's very funny. As far as gameplay, I'd love for them to make it similar to Metaphor in the way that there's both overworld and a traditional battle style, except instead of turn-based is the normal Star Force battle setting, you know? That way we can have like a Mega Man Legends type of combat, but Star Force along with the traditional Star Force combat. It would be tons of fun to see what they can pull off in Star Force style, and that game's intended expanded high level of power, because the gameplay in Star Wars, trust me, that's a high level of power, and that makes things so fun. I'm not too sure how I'd incorporate hacking into the transformation for that game. Maybe it would be most similar to style changes from earlier Battle Network, where instead of a transformation and more changes Mega Man on a makeup and composition level internally that causes a visual difference and properties change. Who knows? But for sure, take inspiration from the one shot we got. Have all the cast locked in, the new and original characters. Make sure Rogue's Wizard comes back. Have Heartless be helpful. Give Luna and Ophioco Wizard or some skill that allows her to do more. Maybe not even necessarily fight, because this series already has tons of fighters and they don't focus on characters that are only fighters. Sonya, just keep cooking with her like you always do, along with her dynamic with Gio and the rest of the cast and her in and of herself. Keep the games very free of padding like you do, but have plenty of expanded gameplay content on top of the consistent, snappy, and impactful narrative story. And of course, a post game that's so different and just builds upon the world in an even newer way. All in all, I think that's all I got to say. If I forgot something, I'm sure I'll mention it in a stream or community post, or I've already edited it in somewhere in this video. Subscribe for more Mega Man Star Wars content like character analysis and storytelling and thematic element discussions, as well as more RPG content in general like Xenoblade and Metaphor and The World Ends With You and Kingdom Hearts and Persona and Monster Hunter. That's not the same class, but you know I like that too. Hit the bell to stay notified for new videos and streams. Follow me on Twitch for my streams of random games or story games that I just don't want to play on YouTube. Follow me on Twitter for quick updates of me getting rage baited on my once a week Twitter visits. Take care of yourself wherever you are, and see you next time.